This was generated on my computer.
Can you tell which one of me is the real one?
And so was this.
Does this support the new Phantom 5090?
Oh yeah, 24 lanes.
You might have caught that video where I compared a bunch of quantizations, and I generated local videos using WAN and LTX, start to finish, on my machine. Nothing to send to the cloud. A few years ago, that was just science fiction. Now it just runs, locally, privately, and free. And for about 30 seconds, well, in this case, at most 10 seconds. That's the whole story. It's amazing that it works at all, which is exactly what we thought of LLMs a few years ago. Would I actually use this?
Did you try turning it off and on again?
Because there are some issues. So I took the exact same prompts and ran them through one of the best frontier video models out there right now. Same ideas, but not the same result. Oh, not even close. And then the other question comes up, because this kind of feels like where code was a couple years ago. Do you remember? First, AI could generate code, and we were so happy that we can chat with a model like ChatGPT and it'll spit out some code for us. And now it became agents that could understand the project, make changes, fix mistakes, and just keep going. So is video about to go through the same shift? Not just prompt in, clip out, but something that understands what you're trying to make, figures out the pieces and builds the next version. And that is where this got way more interesting.
Did you try turning it off on again?
So first of all, this is WAN 2.2 and it's doing a pretty decent job. This is the BF16 quality, so the highest, but this is a very simple shot. Now, when you use a different model like I'm using here, this is Seed Dance 2.0 and I'm accessing it through higgsfield. Even if you give the same seed to a different model, it's gonna look very different. And this looks really good. Seed Dance is actually one of the best, if not the best model right now. So I decided to take a screenshot from the original video that I generated with WAN and LTX and run it through Seed Dance to see what it could do. Wow. Now that is impressive. It's got camera motion. It's got a slight zoom and the water surface is just jiggling a little bit. Very nice. Let's do something more complicated. Here's a lady walking through the forest. Now this is the highest quality I could generate with WAN and it's pretty good if you're just watching it. But there are a couple of issues with consistency if you go frame by frame. Generally though, this is acceptable for most applications. However, look at this version that Seed Dance 2.0 gave me. That is impressive. The hair bounces there. Her face is so much sharper. She's got a bounce to her step. It just looks realistic. There's even some camera motion going on. Now, even the best model can't handle certain things like physics. There are some things with physics that is an issue, like this marble rolling down a block of wood. This is WAN. You can see it's totally unrealistic. The two balls merge. And Seed Dance, even though the marble is really nice looking, the physics is just not working out here. It did add sound though. Speaking of sound, LTX is what I ran locally to get audio with the video synced up. Here's that tech support scene.
Did you try turning it off and on again?
I am the IT department!
It's pretty funny, but there's definitely some issues with consistency. There's weird facial glitches going on, and it's got this kind of rubbery feel to it. Now for Seed Dance, I uploaded just one frame. I believe it was one of these last frames, and asked it to do the whole video. And check this out.
Did you try turning it off on again?
I am the IT department!
That is crazy good. First of all, their voices are just really realistic. He's got a bit of a sweaty forehead from working on this IT problem that's bothering him. We all know what that's like. And look at his reaction as soon as she says that to him. Just, you know, to push his buttons a bit. And it worked, obviously. But every single frame in this video is consistent. There's no weird glitches with their faces. They got that nailed. Here's one that started from an actual image of one of my videos with Dan at Micro Center. This is LTX. And this is the first frame. It looks fine.
Does this support the new Phantom 5090?
Oh yeah, 24 lanes.
But then it kind of drifts off a little bit.
Wait. They lied to us again!
I love that. But if you take a closer look, like what's going on with the face over there? What's going on with Dan's face? Not realistic. So I had Seed Dance 2.0 do it. The original is 10 seconds. And if I gave it that whole script to do in a shorter amount of time, it had to kind of compress it. Here's what I got.
Does this support the new Phantom 5090?
Oh yeah, 24 lanes. Wait.
They lied to us again!
Did a good job. I don't know. It literally made Dan red with rage. That's not supposed to be a literal thing, so there's some downsides here. But the consistency is incredible with both of our faces, even when he's really mad. So local AI is pretty impressive already, but as soon as you put it next to the frontier model here, Seedance 2.0, not all of them are good, by the way, but that happens to be a really good one. The realism gap just shows up. So the question is, would I use clips of the Seedance generated one? I would say yeah. And actually, I have used it in a couple of videos recently. Some of you even asked me if the tomato scene was real or not. Not that I would ever actually do that on my desk in front of my computers. Whoa. I still have faith though in local models. They are improving as we go, and they're a little bit behind, but they'll get there. It's also cheap to run local models. First of all, the models' weights are free, and second, it costs you electricity, and you can run it over and over and over again until you get the best result. Whereas something like higgsfield, you have to pay and you have to watch your credits. I've been subscribed to the Ultra plan for a couple months now, and it's halfway through the month and I'm halfway through my credits. So I'm doing okay. But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about it. So what I would do is I would experiment locally as much as you want. And then when you have something kind of flushed out, when you have a good prompt, then you hit up higgsfield and one of the models they have available there. By the way, if you go to video, you have not only Seedance 2, but you have Kling 3, Motion Control, Sora, VO, all those available to you, even WAN 2.7. But there's also something new, and this is something I haven't been able to reproduce yet locally, is the Agentic workflows with the supercomputer that they have here. This is brand new. So I tried to hook up higgsfield CLI. They have both now, MCP and CLI. I showed off the MCP in my previous workflow, but I tried the new CLI and it works for generating clips, for generating images. It's actually really good. But when it comes to stitching things together and agentic workflows, that's where supercomputer comes in. And right now it's still in the UI. At first you go in here and it's like, oh, this is just another chat box, but not really. If you take a closer look, you have access not only to Opus and Opus 4.8, 4.6, Sonnet. You have Gemini in here, Gemini Pro, Gemini Flash, OpenAI's GPT 5.5, Grok is in here, and you have some open weight models like Kimi K 2.6 and DeepSeek. Everything is accessible through here, but why would you need that if you already have like a Claude subscription? Well, first of all, you have access to all these, but this understands your videos and it understands how to work with videos and build things into products. So I want to take it for a test drive, doing something that's maybe useful to me, but basically the sky's the limit here. Now, sometimes people complain that I have a wrinkly shirt in my videos. Okay, I don't take offense. It's okay. You can make fun of me. I like to laugh at myself. It's part of life. Don't take yourself too seriously. However, this gave me an idea. What if I took a clip of one of my videos and asked higgsfield supercomputer to unwrinkle my shirt? Found this clip. Nobody actually tells you what you gave up to get there. And I thought, okay, you know what? The shirt is not that wrinkly. Come on. And maybe I want to do something a little bit more drastic, like, I don't know, wear a tuxedo. I just wanted to see what it can do. So I asked it to clean up and get rid of some of the wrinkles, but maintain my exact performance, my face, everything about the image. And it thought about it for a while, but it ended up recommending that I don't use a model, which is actually pretty cool. It found that it's not capable of doing what I asked it to do, and it suggested some other workflows, like you should use DaVinci Resolve workflow to do it yourself, less than 5 minutes. Or you can use After Effects to draw a soft mask around the shirt torso. That's smart though. I don't have those kinds of skills. I'm not very good at After Effects, so I'm not gonna do that. I want the easy way out, all right? So instead of that, I asked it to do a costume change for me. I gave it my video clip, asked it to pick a frame, the best frame, so it needed to analyze my video, which it can do, and instead of the blue shirt, have me wear a tuxedo. It ran through the analysis, and this is something that its native agent can do. All that stuff is built into the knowledge of higgsfield supercomputer, so you don't need to worry about training it, downloading the right skills, any of that. It ended up finding the best frame. It even showed me the options that it considered, and then it generated this image out of the best frame, which is me in a tuxedo in my own office. Now, since this has access to all the best models out there, it decides what model it wants to use. In this case, it used GPT 2.0 image, which in my opinion is the best model to edit images. Keeps everything consistent except what you asked it to edit. So then I said, use the edited image as the start frame and generate a short 3 to 5 second realistic talking head video. Now, it did that. However, it didn't end up being what I wanted.
Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a closer look at...
Although I must say, it's very James Bondy, so it's very appropriate that it gave me a British accent in this case. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted it to use my voice, my clip, just replace my clothes. Now, Higgsfield has a few different workflows to be able to handle this. And I can go and do this manually using all their tools like lip sync. They give you access to Kling, of course, so you can do that using Kling Edit. But I wanted to see if I can just prompt the agent to do it, because that's what it's for. So in the same context, I gave it my video again and the new screenshot of me in the tux. And I said, use the audio from this video and generate a new video with the guy in the tuxedo. So it has to figure out a few things now. It has to first figure out how to get the audio from the video, then use that audio to drive the lip-synced tuxedo guy and submit all that to the correct model. And the one correct model that can do that right now is Seedance 2.0. There it goes. It figured out the length of the video, the length of the audio, cut the audio out using FFmpeg that it itself is running up in the cloud, and then it figured out that it needs to use Seedance, so it submits the image and it submits the audio, and there it is. It generated the video. Nobody actually tells you what you gave up to get there. That is incredible. So this whole agentic workflow feels like Cursor, but for video and media. Not everything is perfect though. I did actually run into a couple of issues where I was trying to render that woman in the forest, but it gave me a not suitable for work and it wouldn't do it. But after I retried it, it did it. So yeah, that's another difference between doing it locally where it always works and doing it on the server where there are some checks and it's going to limit what you can generate. It's probably not going to do logos or famous people just for safety and legal reasons. So if you care about control, local AI video is still pretty exciting and it's getting better all the time. If you care about realism and usable output today, the frontier models are clearly ahead. And if agents like Higgsfield supercomputer keep improving, the next competition isn't local versus cloud, it's going to be model versus workflow. Now, if you want to see how to get Claude Code and Claude generating images and videos for you, watch this video right here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.